Hi, good morning. Let's see if we have anyone out there this morning. We're going to talk about dreams today. You know what? It is fun to dream. And I don't know about men, because like I say, I don't work as much with men as I do with women, but I know that I believe every woman has a dream in her heart. Truth is, I think everybody has dreams. We just don't act on them a lot. So let's see who we're going to have join us first this morning, and then we'll get started. As like always, I've got my teacup. How about you? I get to have a one-on-one chat with someone this week about having tea. I'm so excited about that. I tell you, if you are working a business and you have the opportunity to do one-on-one chats, it is really fun. It's so fun to get to know new people and learn about them and about their families and about business, just kind of the whole person. It's not just about making a sale. So if you think that, like, you're really wrong. I think I used to think that before I really got into it and understood it. But anyway, I love having one-on-one chats. I had 7 of them last week. It was so amazing. So I learned a lot about new people and new things that are going on. So good morning, Kathy. Good morning. And Jane, good morning. Nice to see you. Hello from Kansas City. Yes, it is Henrystown. I was over there holding my little baby boy yesterday. It was so fun. Hi, Allison. How are you? Good morning. Hey, Allison. Do you want to come on camera today? Hi, Holly. Holly, where are you? Where do you live? As y'all come on, check in and tell me where you're located. What town or city do you live? Okay, always like to see who else is going to check in. I'm excited to talk to you guys about dreams this morning. It's just, oftentimes is what's going to give you your joy. It can also be your most frustrating, but it's also what gives you joy and makes you happy and all of those kind of things. So who else do we have on there? So Allison, you didn't send me a message. You want to come on camera or no? Let's see. I'm going to give you a wave. I waved and waved. You know, interesting, Kathy. It didn't ask me if I want to wave you on. No, kind of interesting. I never know why Facebook does what it does. So I'm moving the screen down in case y'all are wondering, like, why am I looking strange? Because I scroll down the screen. I'm on my phone because the phone will allow me to, well, hello, all those little heads up. Who's like, people are saying like, great, great, great. I love that. Okay. Good morning, Kimberly and Don Hutchison. Hello there. Nice to see you on here. All right. So for those of you who are watching, and you don't have to go into big detail, but let me ask you the question of, are you living your dream? Now, it's really funny. I have this wonderful, wonderful girlfriend, and I don't know if she'll be on this morning. Sometimes she can make it on. And her name is Barb Melton. Now, Barb was a Mary Kay director with me, and we have been friends for, I guess, you know, time goes so fast. It's like, it seems like everything I say is like 20 years or 25 years because, we're blessed to keep living every day. But Barb and I think have been friends for probably 20, 25 years, something like that. And so sometimes we'll just be chatting. We certainly don't talk every day, but we try to talk every couple of weeks. And when I'm in town, we're getting together today to have a little lunch together. After I speak, I am honored today. I get to speak at a luncheon up north in Liberty today, talking about how your self-confidence equals your self-esteem. Because it's how you feel about yourself. So I'm excited about going and speaking to the ladies up there. And then Barb and I are going to get together. And the whole point of that conversation was, so often I'll be talking to her about the things that are going on, because she's always asking me, and she's, oh, girl, you are just living the dream. And she is really right, because I believe I am. I am really doing what I love to do. It gives me energy. Yes, at the end of my week or so in Kansas City, when I go back to Vegas, I am a little tired. It takes me a couple days to regroup because I don't live as busy of a life in Vegas as I do in Kansas City. Isn't that crazy? I need to change that. I need to start doing more in Las Vegas when I'm there. But I really am living the dream, living out what I love to do and what I believe I was created to do. So my question is, what about you? Are you living the dream? Whatever your dream is, doesn't matter what anybody else's dream or what anybody else thinks your dream should be, because we've talked about that before. That so often we are doing the things, doing the job, doing the activities that other people think we should do and not really what we want to do. So I want to just check down here again before I continue on. I love it when I have somebody who can come on camera with me and help me read the things. I would, but all my Facebook friends are notified I'm live and they don't like it. What? Well, they should want to see you live. All right. So, well, I'll miss you, Allison. It's fun when you come on. It's been a while since you've been on. Hi, Beverly and Joanne. I'm going to just wave at y'all. There we go. Tell me where you're from and tell me yes or no, are you living your dream? So that's what I want to know today. How many of you are out there living your dream? Hi, Carol. Man, it's probably been 40 years since I've seen you, or 35. Isn't that crazy? All right, I'm scrolling up. Morgan, good morning. I'm trying to wave at y'all. That some of them say wave, so I'm waving at those of y'all who I see are doing. Hi, Denise Wilson. All right, cool. All right, so here's the thing. We're talking about dreams. Are you living your dream? And like I said, I really would love it if you just let me know yes or no. Sometimes I think what happens is we have a dream and it gets put on the back burner, or it gets put in a closet or up on a shelf. You've heard all of those expressions before. So where is your dream? If you're not living your dream right now, are you moving towards your dream? Or have you not even thought about your dream in a long time? Now, a lot of people put the two words dream and vision together, and for this purpose, I'm doing that today. But the truth is, they're really a little different in how you look at them. And I love the scripture that says, "Where the people have no vision, they perish. With no vision, the people perish." And I think that that's true also with dreams. I think that dreams are so important because, again, they're what give you the energy. They're what give you joy. Your dreams are what make you feel complete and like this is where you belong. I was talking to a great lady the other day. I just met her, and she was saying, "Oh yeah, we're alive." She says, "My favorite place is being up in front of people," and it's like, that is it. That is when I am most alive. It's like, I used to really play that down because I felt like, people thought I was being pushy, or people thought I was just too, that I was too egotistical or whatever. And so I downplayed that. And for a long time, I just wouldn't shine. I just wouldn't do it because I thought I wasn't supposed to or something. And the truth is, when you can own who you are and really own what you're meant to do and who you're supposed to be, then your life becomes more alive. And whether it's like me being on stage and talking to people and sharing information and teaching, or maybe baking cookies and taking them to people who need them, or going to hospitals and visit, there's so many wonderful things out there, and you know what that is for you. And if you don't, then do a little exploration and start thinking about that. So I have 5 keys this morning to dreaming, and how can you live the life of your dreams. How can you live that? My book is called Fun, Fearless Female, How to Live the Life You Want Instead of the Life You've Got. And I talk a little bit in there about dreaming. And so I'm going to give you 5 keys on living the life of your dreams. And the first thing is, do you even know what it is? Do you know what your dream is? What is it that you want? What is it that's going to give you joy? What is that little girl dream that's been on the back burner for the last 20, 30, 40 years, however old you are, that you stopped, and maybe you got married and started raising your children, and now your children are grown, or they're getting close to getting out of the nest, or it could be they were out of the nest and now they've come back. But that doesn't mean your dreams should keep being on hold, because as women, and sorry, I haven't seen if we have any guys check in today. We do have several guys that do watch with us. And I love that. I think that's great. But since I don't see any of those on, I'm going to start really here as women. Just because your children grow up and they leave the nest and they start their life of their own, and their choices are their choices, and we really have to realize that and release that control, because the truth is we don't have it anyway. We just think we do. So when we can release that control of them, so even if circumstances are such that you allow them to come back into your home for a short time, a long time, whatever it is, but that doesn't mean that you have to then relinquish your goals and your dreams again. Because when you're raising them and they're small, that is our job. That is what we do. Whether you're an at-home mom or work outside the home, doesn't matter. Your children become the main focus. And so as moms, we often put what we want on hold. And so, my music, I'll use that as an example for me, because my music just has always been, was always a hobby. And wasn't until my kids graduated and, left the nest, so to speak, that I started really pursuing my music more of the time, I guess, more consistently, and then realized that God had more for me, that I was, adding the speaking element to it. So now I do speaking and singing, which is a great joy to me. And by the way, I'm going to announce it first here. I will be doing a benefit concert on October 20th. That's Saturday, October 20th at Colonial Presbyterian Church here in Kansas City. So I'm excited about that. That has been approved through their session. And so it is a benefit concert for a school in Guatemala. That Colonial has been built this school and providing everything. It's just an amazing thing. And I went there with my son right as he was graduating from high school. He and I went, and it was just a wonderful thing. And so anyway, we're going to be doing a benefit concert for that. So I still do get to incorporate my singing in addition to the speaking. So when you're looking at your life and you're thinking back on what you always wanted to do, or when you're in those moments of just feeling by yourself, usually what happens is regret. You're sitting there and you're not feeling so great about things, and you're thinking, I never did da-da-da-da. I never did get to do this, or I never really went down that road. So rather than allowing your brain to go down that road of regret, how about look at that and say, but it's not too late. Y'all, it is never too late till we're dead. I mean, you're still here, right? Because you're on the show with me. So as long as we're still alive, there's still time. God still has a purpose for you. That dream is still vital, whatever that is. And depending on, our ages, it's not like I'm going to, of course, I never had the skill to be in the Olympics anyway. So age might prohibit, a certain level, like being in the Olympics or something, depending on how old you are. But it doesn't mean you can't pursue that and do that thing that gives you joy, or that you want, that you've always dreamed of doing. I'll just tell you, one of my dreams that has not been accomplished yet, but it still is going to happen. I just know it is. In some way, I just know that I am going to be in front of, either as a speaker or a singer, at large auditorium, thousands. I mean, I know y'all see, this goes back to, I start disclaiming myself, because okay, this is such an ego trip, right? I really don't mean it to be, but I see myself, a vision that I have is singing or speaking in front of thousands of people. That is just a dream. I can see it. I can just see it so plain. So I know it's going to happen. So that's what I do every day that I'm out living my dream now, and doing what I'm doing is walking me to that next level of dream. So that's what I want for you. And it's been a road, you guys. It hasn't been easy. It hasn't been consistent. I've had the same kind of ups and downs and sidetracks as you have, but I want to encourage you to keep going for it. All right. So number one was, you have to know what your dream is. So figure it out. Start that piece of paper. I'm always telling y'all to get a piece of paper and a pencil out. Get your phone out. All of you who are less, under 40 probably, you're going to go to your phone and start making notes. So yay, do that. I do that on Evernote a lot. That's the program or the app that I use in order to do that. So start making notes to yourself. What is your dream? What is it? What would give you total joy? And here's the thing. Here's how to sort of figure it out. Ask yourself these two questions. If money were no object, what would you do? What is the thing? What is the dream that you have that you've never done, maybe because it's always been financially impossible? That's what your mind tells you. So what would you do if money were no object? And the second question is, if there was no way that you could fail, what would you do? I mean, that takes away all the fear, that takes away all the scary, that takes away all the parameters of what anybody else says, because who cares what anybody else says? This is your dream. This is your life, so let's move forward on that. So what is your dream? You have to know what it is. So that's number one. Number two is, what would it look like? Okay, so what would it look like? Now, I'm going to tell y'all, I've been dreaming of doing what I'm doing now for quite a long time. And I was in Mary Kay doing Mary Kay thing, being a director, and we had the question at some training thing, and they said, if you could visualize yourself 5 years from now, where would you be? And that's another one of those great questions. Okay, so if you just could, time capsule yourself to 5 years from now, what would you be doing if you were really doing what you wanted to do, what your dream is? So I remember doing that exercise, and I really saw myself getting up, getting dressed, going out to speak to a group, maybe getting on an airplane to go to the next place. And so it's really funny, because what you dream about, what you think about happens. What a man thinketh, so he is. What you think about, you bring about. When you start thinking about your dream, when you start allowing your mind, take the girdle off your brain and start really allowing your brain to think about these things, it can happen. I mean, it starts manifesting itself in your brain, your body, yourself, your soul wants to make that happen for you. Because I believe that those dreams are planted by God. It says, when it says he will give you the desires of your heart, I think it's because he's the one that plants them in there. If he's going to plant them there, he's going to give you the way to make it happen. So you're going to write it down. What is it you want? Do you know what your dream is? Figure it out, write it down. Number two is, what would it look like? What would your life look like if you were actually living out your dream every day? What would you do when you get up in the morning? Where would you be going? Who would you be seeing? Or who would you be on the phone to? What would that look like? Okay, number three on your keys is, what would you need to make it happen? Okay, so let's take someone who wants to, and just this week, I have to remember who it was. Just this week, at one of our Fun Fearless Female lunches, someone said she always wanted to own a bakery. Now, isn't that the coolest? I've talked about this so long. It's even in the book. I think that's one of the examples that I use. Because I know people who love to cook, who love to bake cookies and pies and all that stuff. I love to eat them. I'm so glad people like to bake them. It would not be me. Owning a bakery is the last thing in the world I could even imagine myself doing. Now, greeting people coming in and saying, hello, come on in, I could do that. So anyway, her goal is to own a bakery. So maybe that's your goal or something like that. So begin to make yourself a note of, what would it take to make that happen? So if you were to own a bakery, for instance, here's some questions that could go under that heading to ask yourself. So what would it take? What kind of ovens would you need? How many ovens would you need? What kind of bowls and equipment would you need? Now remember, this is financially, like I said, money's no object, okay? Money's not coming into this conversation. So you're going to dream and write down what it is you really want, not just what you think you'd have to settle for. Y'all get the difference? So this is dream time. Dreams can be whatever you want them to be. Money's no object, and there's no way you can fail. That's the other one, okay? So what would it take? What kind of equipment? What kind of dishes or things do you want to serve it on? Maybe you even know what your logo would look like. Maybe you already know the name. So what is the name? What's the name of your new company or your new bakery? What is your color scheme? What would it take? What would it look like? Yo, this is so fun. I mean, I'm having fun thinking about for this gal and her bakery. So so looking at that and like, what would it take? The next step then is to make a plan. So begin to think when you're looking at that list of what would it take to make it happen, then begin to look and say, okay, so if I were going to do that, how could I do that? So you could begin by doing research, okay? What does this Viking oven XYZ, how much does it cost? What would it cost to rent retail space? Go out and start searching. It doesn't mean you're going to do it tomorrow, and you're not making any commitments. You're not wasting anybody's time to make a phone call and say, just wondering, how does a lease work on this? Do we have, do you have to sign a 3-year lease or a 5-year lease, or maybe they do short-term leases? Just find out information, because your heart's gonna swell. You're gonna feel this excitement happening, and it's part of the dream process. All right, so you're making a plan, and maybe you need more education. Okay, that could be part of your on your step 4, where I'm saying that you're making your plan of finding out information of, but maybe you also need to take a business class. Maybe you need to learn how to use Excel. Maybe there's some things that you need to do in your growing process as you are planning this for yourself. And that's part of your plan. The other part of your plan may be that you need to start figuring out how you can save some money every week. So maybe give up Starbucks a couple times a week. And it doesn't seem like much. It could be $10 a week, but you're doing something towards your goal. And that actually is number 5. So in number 5 is do something today. What can you do today that could actually take you one step closer to your goal? Could be making the phone call. If you're, maybe your goal is to get a college education, and maybe you're 50 or 60 years old, maybe you're 45, doesn't matter. And you always wanted it, but you say to yourself, I didn't get it when I was younger. It's kind of dumb to go get it now. I don't need it. Like, duh, no, get over that. It's like, stop it now. Get rid of that thought. And if that's something that's always been your heart's desire, and maybe you even know what you want to study, and that's not even as much the issue of if it's the degree that you want to feel that builds your self-esteem, that gives you more confidence because that's something that you want and you want to feel that accomplishment, then go for it. So number 5 is to do it now. Do it today. Make one step today. What can you do today to take you one step closer? That could be call the junior college and just find out, what does it take to register? How much is a class per hour? Do they have, maybe they have some auditing classes that you just want to get your brain back into gear. Now that won't count towards your degree, but go sign up and do one class. I would suggest, if you haven't studied in a really long time, don't go out and take 5 courses and have a full load the first time. Now, if you're highly motivated and you are so ready for this, then go for it. Don't let anybody hold you back if this is what you're really ready for. But if you're just exploring and that, call and find out what it would take. Find out, it could even be that there's some classes that you want to take. Maybe you love photography and you really want to be better. It's always been your dream to take pictures of certain things. Maybe you need to go to those adult education classes where they have photography and they have professional photographers who come in and teach you how to do it. It's limitless. I mean, there's just no end to the possibilities for you. I just want you to dream it. I want you to bring that dream back into your focus. Let it start swelling in your heart. Let that fire explode. Ignite the fire. I wrote a song about 10 years ago called Ignite the Fire. Ignite the fire that's within you, because that's what's gonna take you. That's what motivates you. That's what gets you up in the morning, is moving towards that. I want you to be living your dreams. I want you to have that joy and that just that feeling of knowing that you're moving towards your goals. And part of number 5 is where I started a few minutes ago, was about maybe saving your Starbucks money. You'd be surprised that if you just save $10 a week, again, it's not that much, and it's not going to open the bakery, right, or pay your tuition. However, it gets your brain into another gear. It begins letting your family see. It helps you, most of all, realize that you are taking a step towards your dream for you. I want you to have it all, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to have everything your heart desires. it's not going to just land in your lap. And God is a great, amazing God, but he normally doesn't just drop it in your lap. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he does. But if that's what you want, trust me on this. In Joshua, where he says, be bold and courageous, for I have already gone before you. And if you read through the book of Joshua, you will see over and over those words. I should go count them. No, I should Google it. How many times the words be bold and courageous are in the book of Joshua, and how many times it says or indicates, for I, the Lord, have gone before you. Those dreams, those things, if you're getting that little thing going on inside you right now, that shows you that that's part of what you need to be doing, because that desire was planted in your heart. So God has already gone before you. He's already putting people and putting things in place for you that you can't even imagine. I know the scripture that, let's see, I just read it this morning. I think, don't hold me to it, but I think it's Ephesians 3:20. For he will do more than we can think or imagine. So if you can imagine yourself owning the bakery or getting your degree, he can give you even more than that. And he's putting the people and the things in place that you need, but you have to take the steps. We have to have some part in that. You have to take the steps. You have to get up and say, Lord, thank you for what you're doing today, because I'm getting ready to step out. I'm going to trust you and step out and do one thing. Do one thing today towards that goal, towards that, whatever that is in your heart. When I was a Mary Kay director, my goal was to be in that pink Cadillac. Well, it took me a couple of years to want to do that, because at first I didn't even want to do it. I don't think I've ever told that story. I came in to buy my product at wholesale. Matter of fact, I told them, I'm never going to hold a class. I'm never going to do anything, because this is not what I want to do, but I like saving money. So I love paying wholesale. So I often will join things just so I can get the discount, because I think that's smart business, smart way to use your money. And so I never intended to do a thing. But as I got in there and I saw the vision of what difference we could make, and it really, for me, really was about touching women's lives and encouraging them, which is funny, right? This is exactly what I'm doing now. So God brings it all full circle. He's so amazing about that. But I decided that I was going to earn that pink Cadillac, and that is what I thought about, and I took the steps to do it. You can do. What is your pink Cadillac, so to say? What is your bakery or your degree? What is it that you want? So here are your 5 keys. What is it that you want? What is your dream? Define it, okay? Define that dream so that you can act on it. Number 2, what would it look like? If you were getting up tomorrow morning as we're living your actual dream, what would that look like? Number 3, what would you need to do it? Is it a retail space? Is it, where do you want to go to school? What is it? What would it actually, what would you need to do to have that dream, put it into place? And 4, begin to make your plan and itemize out what would you need for yourself? What would you need to grow? You might need to reach out to a coach. You might need to reach out to someone, accountability, to say, and this is not something, I told the ladies that this last week when I spoke to ABWA, I really said to them, don't go out sharing your dreams and goals with everybody in the world, because there's so many people that are going to rain on your parade. I love that song by Barbra Streisand when she says, don't rain on my parade. It's like, don't let others rain on your parade. Don't let them squash your dreams down. Keep it in your heart for a little while, but find someone who loves you and supports you. It may be somebody in your family. It may be a best friend. You might need to reach out to a coach, someone who can really hold you accountable and help you walk through that. What class do you need to take? What do you need to learn? Because we have to own some of that responsibility, right? And then number 5, do it. What can you do today? Can you go out and not buy your latte and put it in an account for your dream? What else can you do? What can you do today? Make one phone call that will take you one step closer to your dream. All right. I have talked a lot today, haven't I? All right. I want to quick see if other people I can say hi to. And I'm not sure how to say your name from Texas. You live in Louisiana and moving towards your dream. I'm so glad to know about that. You can even, if you don't want to share it with the group, I would love to know. You could private message me. That would be great. I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana, went to school in Pineville, Louisiana, so I am a Louisiana girl, and I can go back to my little southern drawl if I want to. So anyway, hi, Alicia, honey. Good morning. How's my baby Henry? And Pamela Williams, good morning. I think we're on to have coffee this week, aren't we? Let's see. Carissa, good morning. And Karen, yay. Carissa, I'm still in search mode for my new business name, LOL. Okay, I'll get my brain thinking on that for you too. Hi, Debbie, good morning. So I am so glad you guys are on today. Thank you for sharing your morning with me, sharing your coffee or whatever. I always like to end with, life is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. Choose wisely. Choose you. Choose to go out and make your dreams come true so you can be living your dream. I love you. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Go out and make a difference in this world. Ladies and gentlemen, love you. Have a wonderful week. Bye now.